Welcome to Geneva, Switzerland. This city has been chosen as the headquarters for the League of Nations due to Switzerland's commitment to staying neutral during war. Our mission statement as an organization is as follows: to maintain peace at all times and to ensure prosperity for all human beings on earth. In order to make an official decision, a consensus of member states must be reached. What does that mean? Unanimous. You should know this from your research. Everyone has to agree. Okay? A simple majority is not good enough. Like 7-3 is not good enough. It's got to be 10-0. If we feel that a country or countries are threatening peace and prosperity, we are allowed to take one of three options. Option 1, if someone is being naughty, is denouncement. This means all members of the League of Nations agree that a country is in violation of our mission statement, and we will officially announce to the world that this country is a threat. Now, the best way for you to understand these three options is to connect them to teenage discipline at home with your parents or guardians. Denouncement is equivalent to something that you get all the time, not just from your parents, your teachers, your coaches, cops, and it has very little effect on changing behavior. Anyone know what denouncement equates to you at home when you get punished? No. A lecture and nothing more. Just a lecture. So if you vote option 1, you're basically voting, let's lecture that country. Tell them you're disappointed and I'm really upset with you. But don't take their phone away. Don't spank them. Just lecture them. You guys know you get lectures all the time. Not effective at changing behavior, is it? Now, option 2, take up the discipline a notch. You made mom or dad even more mad. We can vote to sanction a country. Okay? That means cut off all trade. No one in here trades with them. It's like ignore them. Exactly. Now, the equivalent to you at home, instead of just a lecture, you get grounded. Take away the phone, the keys, you're cut off from the outside world and your friend. Do we agree that relative to a lecture, that is more powerful at changing behavior? Yeah. If it's enforced, because it's not always enforced. Now, if you are really in trouble or a country is really misbehaving, we can vote for option 3, which is to use force. That means we will send a military in to handle the problem. But keep in mind, the League of Nations is an international organization. It's not one country. It's all of us together. We do not have an army. By joining the League of Nations, you are not obligated to give us your army. If we vote option 3, we will politely ask you to give us some troops or weapons or support, but you are not obligated to. So it's kind of like if we vote option 3, we then have to say, now, who's going to send troops to go into that country and teach them a lesson? Because we do not have a body of troops in the League of Nations. We have to ask our member states to donate them. Okay? So that is akin to me, spanking or the leather belt. So what I did on the backboard, so you remember these, denouncement is a lecture in black. That's option 1. Sanctions is green. That's like no trade, cutting off their money. That's like being grounded for you. And then option 3 is force. We send in an army. That's like you're physically being punished by Papa Pate, whatever weapon he uses on you. Okay? So, now that we understand how the League of Nations works, the year is 1919. The first issue is Italian aggression in Yugoslavia.
Hey, that's us.
Now, listen to the scenario, and then the little strip number 1 will make perfect sense. Listen, in 1919, Italy was angered that the Big Three had, in their opinion, broken promises to Italy at the Treaty of Versailles. I warned you this treaty would come back to haunt us later in this class. They had been promised by the Allies that Italy would be able to keep important cities like Dalmatia after the war was over. Italy, as we know, is the boot that sticks down into the Mediterranean. The British and the French promised them if they joined the Allies in World War I, instead of fighting with Germany like they were going to, if you join our side, when we win, we'll give you some territory over here. Now, in the Treaty of Versailles, was Italy given the territory they were promised? No, they were not. So what they did in 1919, okay, behind the boot, think of like the calf, like if this is a leg. This is called the Adriatic Sea. A brand new country was made, Yugoslavia, right here. One of their small port cities on this peninsula was invaded by the Italians. Here was their justification. We were promised it by the British and French before the war. After the war, they did not deliver on their promise, so we took it anyways. Yugoslavia, who was given this area, is a brand new, very small country. So obviously Italy is kind of like picking on the kindergartner here at recess, right? Like if these two fight, Yugoslavia is new and small, and they're certainly going to lose to Italy. So the Yugoslavians have come to us, the League of Nations, to say, here's what's going on. You both get a chance to explain. And then we decide, are we going to denounce Italy? Are we going to sanction Italy? Are we going to use physical force and send in troops to kick them out? Or if we cannot all agree unanimously, what happens? Nothing. So there's kind of 4 options. Do we see how that works? Okay? So here's how this works. Whoever the offended party is, like you've been injured, you're the one with the problem, you get to talk first. Whoever is the alleged aggressor, because maybe he has a good reason, right? It's kind of like innocent till proven guilty. We got to wait and hear what he has to say. Then we will go, starting with Spain, clockwise to the other countries in the room, passing the microphone. And you tell us what you think we should do according to your slip of paper and your interpretation to Italy in this case. Now, I have 5 of these. This is the first one. I am hoping we can do scenarios 1 and 2 today, and then next week we'll finish 3, 4, and 5. They get better as we go. You will see from a first-hand perspective how this League of Nations worked and how we're going to get to World War II. Okay? So first, Yugoslavia gets to stand up and tell us what's going on and what option you want, trying to convince these other countries to vote with you. When he is done, you get a second, Italy gets to explain and say what he wants to do, followed by Spain, Poland. Okay, I got to see your flags, guys. Sweden, that's backwards, son. Thank you. Japan, Great Britain, France.
Is it still recording?
You guys
Yeah. Darn it.
You got a flag in there?
So dude, look at you bad.
China. Okay, listen.
Should I turn it off? He'd get pissed off.
Yeah.
This is like your alternate uniform. Later on, you're going to have a civil war. So right now, you're that. Okay. When
Wait,
we're
so do
all
we
done
read this
with our
part?
speech, then we vote. Option 1, 2, 3, or do nothing. If we cannot agree, nothing happens. Italy goes home. Yugoslavia goes home. Nothing happens. So you think about one person on your team is going to stand up and say, here's what we think we should do, and more importantly, why we should do it to Italy, if anything, because maybe you think we should do nothing. So you got a minute here to talk, figure out who's going to speak. Whoever speaks first cannot speak again until the other person has spoken. Huddle up and figure it out.
Do we read this top part?
Listen, don't read it word for word, son. Take that in your heads and say, we gotta get them out and giving us our land back. If they don't, everybody's got to go option 3. Because you're picking on this new little country, setting a bad precedent for the world, saying, oh, the big guys can pick on the little guys. If you guys don't do something right now, it's going to get worse. And another war's going to start. So compel them to vote option 3. You 4. The options are on the backboard if you forget what they are.
You guys violated the Treaty of Versailles.
Go to scenario 1.
Now you guys gotta pay.
You want what that says.
By
You're going to have to
wasn't
give
given
us
to
using
reasons why
we
should
got
do that.
and now we gotta do justice by using force
So this
against
is
you.
what you want.
Or else if we don't do some, it's gonna happen
They just
to
had
other
a fire
countries.
brainstorm. No, the camera did. I know, the camera just heard that. What's up, camera? Italy. 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 Italy.
Did you just say you might not support the vote?
Say
Italy.
Jake.
Go on.
Okay, figure out who is going to talk. Yugoslavia, pick a member. Stand up.
You.
The mic
You
is
know what you're
hot,
talking
and then I'll pass it over
I
to
got
Italy
next
when
one
you
because I
guys
have
know.
to say it.
No, it's not.
Yugoslavia, that's one of you two.
So I just stand
Pretty
up.
bad when Poland has to remind you to do your job.
She waits. So I just stand up and just.
Tell us what's going on and what we should do about it. You're trying to persuade them to vote with you. You can
Italy.
talk to the iPad if it makes you feel better.
No, I'm good. Italy violated the Treaty of Versailles by taking our land, and now they must pay, or else if we don't do anything about it, it's gonna happen to other countries too. And we want to use force against Italy.
So you want to vote option 3? Okay, Sweden, could you do me a favor and erase those tally marks? And then leave 1 by option 3. We'll tally this as we go. Okay, thank you, Yugoslavia. So they get to go first because they were the offended or injured party. Italy is the one who's accused of being the jerk here, so he gets to explain himself.
Italy feels like we were screwed by the Treaty of Versailles, and we were simply taking back the land that we were promised. And we think nothing should happen.
Okay, surprise, surprise. Italy doesn't want to invade himself, right? Now, we're going to go clockwise, starting with Spain. Okay, remember the catch. You must tell us your country's name in your native language. You didn't tell us yours. Okay, you got to say it like an Italian, though. Italia. Okay, and then tell us the name, because some of us we won't know. Stand up.
Poland.
Other side.
What's this one?
Yep. Tell us what you want us to do and why. Okay, listen.
Do I gotta say my name?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
There's a name tag in there.
I know. España.
Tell them.
Well, I'm España.
Which
Yeah.
is who?
Spain. And I say we do nothing about it
Why?
because we got screwed over too, and you know
Are you mad at Italy right now? for
No.
what they did?
I can feel his pain. We like this, tight.
Okay.
How do I say
So-
Poland?
Tally mark for nothing, right? Yeah. Okay, next, Poland. One of you stand up. Who are you? What country?
We're Poland.
How do you say Poland in Polish?
I don't know.
Polska.
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 And we think that Italians must pay because of what they did, picking on Yugoslavia because they're tiny and weak. And they're a new nation because of the Treaty of Versailles. And we want to use option 3.
So you want to send an army too?
Yes.
Okay. Sweden's next. You want to pass up? Sweden, you're on deck here. Okay. Nippon, you're after them, followed by the British Empire. They voted for fourth.
We are Slovakia and
Which is what country to us?
Sweden.
Sweden.
We don't want to send army.
So what option do you want? Denounce them, sanction them, send an
Option
army?
4. Option 4.
Why?
Because we don't need any wars, and your country is far from the
We're
from
So basically you don't care.
yeah.
Here's what we have to remember. You look at the year that this is happening. Is this a year after the deadliest conflict in human history just got over?
Yeah.
Anyone want to jump back in another world war a year later? No. Okay, so that's a valid point, Sweden. Thank you.
Wow.
Not a problem. It's bad beaver medicine back here on you today. Okay, next.
Alright, we are Nasan. Napan.
Which is what in English?
Japan. that is in Japan. We want. We want option 1 or nothing because we don't care.
At least you're honest, Japan. Can you pass that to British?
Sure.
Alright, we're the United Kingdom, as in the United Kingdom. We would like option 1, because option 2, cutting off of trade, well, we need trade. Everyone needs trade. Economy's a little rough after war. Option 3, we just got out of war. Why would we want to get back in war? We lost a bunch of people.
So did the Italians. On your side. Okay, thank you. Czechoslovakia. Pass that up to them.
We're Czechoslovakia, and we think Italy should be punished, and so we think option 2 is the best choice to go, because it would crumble Italy's economy.
Okay. Are you a new small country as well?
Yes.
Okay. So they feel your pain, Yugoslavia, just like Poland. All right. Pass it back to the French, please.
So, we're France.
No, you have to say it right.
We're France. And we want option 1 or nothing because they're just taking back what they were promised. And 2 is, it'll, like they said, it'll cut off trade, and 3 is just causing more conflict between countries. So,
Okay. Last but not least, for Chinese.
Konnichiwa. We are.
That's Japanese. So.
Oh, same thing.
Ni hao.
Zongao. We're Zongao. Is that how I pronounce it? Okay. Well, anyways.
Stand up, please.
Okay.
Yeah, you're real respectful, China.
So, we do option 3, but what you have to realize is, I mean, no one wants war. We just got out of it. It's like the League of Nations stuff. We were trying to prevent this from happening. So, we're gonna have to say option 2. And then they're just gonna be bullies. Don't deserve anything.
Okay, so everybody look at the backboard. Thank you, Sweden, for keeping a tally. We have 3 nations who say, let's lecture Italy. Just yell at them. Say, naughty Italy. We have 2 nations that say, let's all cut off trade. No one buys his pasta or his pizza.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, no spaghetti. You gotta make your own, Yugoslavia. Option 3, we have 2 countries that say, let's send in an army and kick him out and give it back to Yugoslavia. And then we have 3 nations who say, let's do nothing about it. We will now entertain anyone who would like to give a speech to persuade someone to come to your side why your option is best, now that you've heard everyone. Because this usually starts kind of slow. Okay, you guys, I know some of you like professional wrestling, right? WWE. I've been corrected. Okay, tag team match. Can I tag in as Yugoslavia? Can I tag in?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Yugoslavia. Here's what I have to say. I am not mad at Italy based on why he's doing this. I'm mad about what he's doing, which is unjustly invading our new small country and stealing our port city. Now, I understand why. But saying I was promised it, therefore it's okay to go take it and steal it, is not okay. Think about this in another example. Let's say your mom promised to buy you a sucker when you're at the store, and then it came to checkout time, and she didn't, so you stole one. You go in front of a judge and say, no, it's okay that I stole it because my mommy promised it to me. That does not work like that. Now, more importantly, my issue is not with Italy in and of itself. Because he was promised Fiume not by his mother, but by the British and the French, who I have no respect for based on your voting to lecture him, because you are the 2 countries who promised him these port cities, and if you would not have stabbed him in the back at the Treaty of Versailles and given him what he wanted to join your side, after having about 800,000 of his men die in the war on your side, you didn't follow through with your promise. So you 2 should at least have the guts to stand up and say, this is our fault, let's get him to give it back, or let's send in troops. Because you must remember how World War I started. It wasn't Germany versus France. It was Austria-Hungary and Serbia and an archduke. Little countries sparked the deadliest conflict in human history. So if you think that Italy versus Yugoslavia couldn't turn into something bigger, you're not very smart in 1919. Because World War I just got over. And for those of you that are afraid to send troops and say we don't want another war, I agree. However, would you rather fight a small war now or a big war later?
Small war now.
Because the longer we put off these conflicts and let them simmer because of your cowardice, the worse and more deadly those conflicts are going to be when they finally erupt. So either stand up for Yugoslavia and send troops to help us out, or you are asking for a bigger, deadlier conflict later, and I'm calling you out, Great Britain and France. You're the ones who stabbed him in the back, so you better have the guts to vote for the right thing and not just give him a lecture. Because you're being cowards right now, both of you.
Option 3.
Okay, I'm tagging back out. That was my Yugoslavia impression.
If you notice, the two that voted for force are new, small countries. So why would we let those two new countries try to bully the save veterans of the league?
Because you invaded us.
And we were promised the land, so it should be ours. Just cause.
Okay, can we pass that back to Japan? If you have spoken already and you have a partner, you cannot speak again.
Jake, you have to go calibrate it. It's lost.
I'll get it.
No, it's just.
I think that I am Nippon, and I think that we should either vote for option 1 or nothing. Mainly because when Italy was trying to give their speech, Yugoslavia interrupted him very unpolitely, which is not very political.
But you can surely, Japan, empathize with someone who's angry because his territory has been taken away.
I really don't care.
That does not excuse their behavior, but...
I really don't care what happens, but I just don't like it when people... You're being disrespectful to other people, and myself. But...
And you're the aggressor that's causing the spark. And you're doing this because you think the League of Nations, especially the British and French, don't have the guts to intervene and stand up for Yugoslavia. You're betting that the world will say, you know what, Yugoslavia, we're sorry, but we don't care. Tough luck. Now, I don't know if that's a good bet or a bad bet. We'll find out in a couple of minutes. Does anyone else have something to say or want to respond? Great Britain and France, I called you out. Somebody tell us why.
Oh, wait. Oh, he talked. Wait, tell us why that we
Are you sticking with your option?
Yeah.
Stand up
Okay.
and tell us why.
So we're starting with our option because Yugoslavia, or Slavia, whatever, is not really even worth fighting for, in my opinion. France. Okay, and that's done, yeah.
I love how you promise people land, and then you yell at the people
Because
you
we're
gave
savages.
the land to, and then you're gonna join the side.
Oh, get Chansey. I'm just gonna cheater it. Yeah.
Okay, Great Britain has something
No.
to say, and then we'll vote one last time.
Thank you. Mention that we cannot do
Zane,
this.
can you erase the tally?
We cannot go option 3 because just like all you are broke. So you want to send all these troops in and fight? Why not just lecture them?
Okay. Absolutely. Our Chinese friends. Oh wait, have you already spoken?
It's just like super short. Okay.
She talks or you're silent. You pick. Until she speaks, you cannot speak again. That's been clear.
Hey, Chansey.
Yeah, and as teenagers, you know how effective lectures are.
Okay, how would you feel if another teacher is just like, Mr. McCalkin, you are being stupid, immature, and you need to straighten up? You'd feel pretty embarrassed, wouldn't you? I mean, I would. I'd be like, oh, I'm a grown man.
You really think a lecturer is going to fix his behavior?
Yeah.
He's going to laugh at a lecture
He
and
has his
say,
hair combed back. Of course it is.
he's got the fascist haircut already. He's a week ahead on the calendar.
He's got the European.
Do you want to say something or not? Okay. We are going to revote. You have 3 options, but remember, you don't have to vote. So we're not going to say vote for option 4. If you just don't vote at all, like you vote for nothing, that goes down in the nothing category. Because by default, if we can't agree on 1, 2, or 3, we do the 4th thing, which is nothing happens to Italy. So talk to your partner, decide how you're going to vote, and we're going to go around the room, starting with España to Italy. Tell us what you think we should do in this case. Ready? What option? Can we tally these as we go, Sweden? Poland. Yugoslavia.
We're sticking with number 3.
I was gonna say 4. What do you
Sweden.
know? 4.
Japan. Option 4.
4.
Great Britain is a coward.
We're gonna get it.
What? Say it loud enough that you're proud to make this decision. Cowardice? Okay, you vote for cowardice. Thank you. Czechoslovakia? Thanks for at least trying to do something. China says 2. What's Italy say? Nothing. Now, I'm going to put my Yugoslavia hat back on. Can I tag in? Can I tag in? Listen carefully. Listen carefully. I have a warning for you. Czechoslovakia and China. I appreciate you guys at least wanting to do something. But I'm going to tell you right now, when you come crawling back to this assembly on your knees asking for our help in the future, which you will, we will remember the day you did not help us and you stood by and said, maybe we'll sanction them, and didn't stand up for us. Because if we're ever going to get anything done, we have to work together. And when you come crawling back begging for our help, we will not forget. We will not forget what you did to us on this day in 1919. Right, Yugoslavia? Czechoslovakia and China. Okay? France. France. Look at me, France. I'm talking to you. When you guys get conquered by an aggressive European power who we could have dealt with before, but you didn't have the guts to put your foot down, don't ask why we didn't help. Just remember the day you didn't help us. Great Britain, I blame you more than anyone for this situation, and you guys are showing your true colors. First, you break the promise to make him mad. I'm not even that mad at Italy. I'm mostly mad at you guys, because you're the ones who put him with this. You know, his back against the wall, and he felt like he had to invade us. And then you don't have the guts to make it right. So when you come back and ask for our help, we'll remember how you treated us on this day. And you won't wonder why. You won't wonder why we will not help you in the future. Okay? Okay, I'm going to tag back out. That was the best I could do.
That's good.
Okay. By default, nothing happens. Italy gets away with stealing this port city of Fiume. Now, scenario number 2. We fast forward to 1923. I explain, you listen very carefully. Don't read your card yet. Let me explain, and then it'll make perfect sense. Can you? What does it pertain to? What just happened?
He knows the secret. And he publicizes it.
Be quiet, Sweetener. We'll kick you out and stop buying your hot cocoa. No. Okay, listen. Scenario 2. The invasion of the Ruhr. If you remember, the Treaty of Versailles said that Germany has this territory on its western border with France that we called the Rhineland. And the one little spot that has most of Germany's factories is the Ruhr. Does Germany need factories to rebuild its country and economy after the First World War? Does it have huge loan repayments to make to the French and the British after World War I? Okay, so here's what happens. The Treaty of Versailles had ordered Germany to pay reparations for war damages. These could either be paid in money or in goods. In 1922, the Germans failed to pay an installment. They claimed that they simply could not make the payment rather than they didn't want to. The Allies refused to accept this, and anti-German feeling at this time was still strong because we're only 5 years out of World War I. Both the French and the Belgians believed that some form of strong action was needed to teach Germany a lesson. So in 1923, contrary to our league's own rules, the French and Belgians invaded the Ruhr. They sent their troops into Germany's sovereign territory. Okay, and the Ruhr is Germany's most important industrial zone. France and Belgium justified this invasion by saying that Germany had not lived up to the treaty of the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, and therefore they should be punished. So, what should the League of Nations do about Belgium and France invading and occupying the Ruhr region of Germany? Should we denounce them and give them a stern lecture? Should we sanction them and say, we're cutting you off from all trade? Or should we send our troops to kick them out of Germany? Now, who is Germany in this room?
Nobody.
No one.
They were not invited. Here's what we must see. First of all, the voting rules. Some of you have already figured this out. You know what's going to happen. Based on how we vote in here, you should know. That's a problem. Secondly, where's the United States in this room? Even though it was the Americans' idea, their Senate, like part of our Congress, never ratified the treaty, therefore they did not join the League of Nations. If you don't have a big, powerful country who's kind of neutral over here to help settle European disputes, this league's not going to work that well. Secondly, if one of our big aims is avoiding future war, okay, picture this, avoiding future bullying. Who's the most important person in the school to invite to the anti-bullying league? Who's Germany in that analogy?
The bully.
The biggest bully in the school better be in your anti-bullying club. Because if he's not,
He's gonna still be bullied.
everybody else gets in this club and decides what he should do, and you come tell him, like, hey, bully, knock that off. We all decided, but you weren't invited and didn't have a say. He's going to laugh at you and say, why would I listen to you guys? I'm not even in your club.
Because there's more of you than
That
me.
is not very smart. Oh,
Because there's more of you.
you underestimate the big bully. 10 of you skinny guys don't stand a chance against one big bully.
Who's the bully?
Germany.
Yeah, we can.
Well, we already beat him.
Do you see the problem with not inviting Germany? Even though we're mad at him, if he's one of the aggressors in Europe, you better have him in your league, and we didn't invite him. Okay. Thirdly, the Soviet Union, because they were communist and we were afraid of communism spreading throughout Europe, we did not invite them either. Okay? So Germany is not here. They do not get a voice. They do not get a say. So since they're not here, France is going to get to go first and explain their actions. Why did you do this? And what do you think we should do to you in return? Do you want a lecture from us? Do you want to get sanctioned? Do you want to get spanked? Or do you want nothing to happen because you had a good reason? Okay, then we're going to go in reverse order. Italia gets to go first and tell us what he thinks we should do to France, followed by China, Czechoslovakia, the British Empire, the Japanese, the Swedes, the Yugoslavians, the Poles, and finally by the Spanish. Okay? Sure. You guys game plan and figure out what you're going to say because you're first.
I think I know what I'm going to say. Can I spin it? Doesn't do it.
Question?
So, is that supposed to be for instead of from?
Okay, does anyone have a question on what their card says. If you have not spoken, it's your turn. France, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, explain yourself, France.
We invaded the Ruhr? The Ruhr. Because in countries, business is a big deal, and if you're expecting a payment from a certain country and they don't come through, then there should be a consequence. So since Germany didn't pay us, we punished them and invaded the Ruhr. And we don't think anything should be done against us. I'm done.
Okay.
Oh,
Italia
I said
is
nothing.
next.
Don't want anything.
You don't want anything to. Oh, okay.
Okay, Italia understands France's pain, but we do not support it. So we think there should be at least some sort of punishment, not just nothing. So we're voting for sanction.
Okay, thank you. China?
So we completely understand why France and Belgium got angry towards Germany, but we also believe that invasion was the wrong decision. Because, like we said, aren't we trying to avoid war, but you guys are breaking your own rules? So we think that option 2 is the best to go.
So sanction?
Yeah.
Okay. Czechoslovakia thinks that like it was wrong what they did because they're one of our most powerful people that we have, and if we start a war against them, we'd probably just lose and embarrass ourselves. So we think option 2 is the best.
Sanction France? Okay, thank you. British Empire.
Nothing should be done to France because, well, what would happen if they would promise you money and you didn't get it? We all want our money back, so nothing.
Nothing should be done. Sorry, my friend. I am Naipan from Hapan, and nothing should be done to France because Germany deserves what they're getting for one. Because they killed all of us. Like everyone in this room lost someone to Germany. 500 actually.
Yeah, that's 5 guys in total.
And France was promised payment and Germany did not deliver. It's like when a landlord and a tenant doesn't pay the rent, landlord evicts them. It's same thing. Nothing should be done to great France.
When we're done with everybody, I would like... You just remember that, and when everyone's done, you come back.
It's my turn. No, you talked. It's my turn. We are Svadia, and we are voting for option 2 because we want something to be done to the France for just attacking them out of the blue for it, but we don't want to physically punish them because we have a weak army and we just wouldn't work with that. So we just want to go sanction them.
Alright, we're Yugoslavia. And first off, the rules of the League of the Nations says that there should be no war at all. And France and Belgium clearly violated that rule, so we vote option 1. They just deserve a lecture. Who's after us? Poland?
Polska, and I'm confused on how the founding members of the League of Nations can break their own rules.
Oh, yes!
That's right, baby. That's right. So option 2.
Say that again, because it went right over Great Britain's head. It did, actually.
That I'm confused on how you guys, the founding members of the League of Nations, can break your own rules.
So option 2. Yeah.
You guys set up the League of Nations and helped write the rules. The rules say no invading anything. And then France goes and invades someone.
I'm just saying I don't want a bigger war.
Yeah, but you're propping them
I know
up
that
and
the rules of
supporting
League
everyone
Nation
who's
League of Nations have been broken. I can understand why Germany was invaded.
I got nothing at that, but
What do you want to do and why?
Option 2.
Why?
Because the rules have been clearly broken, and we don't want a war.
Okay. Now, we actually agree more on this one than the last one. So we have one country who says, let's lecture the French. Okay, here's a map to help you picture this. Germany, after World War I. The Rhineland, we said no troops in there according to the Treaty of Versailles because France is sick of getting invaded and getting their butts kicked by Germany twice in the last 45 years. Now, here's the Ruhr. In 1923, the French basically invaded sovereign German territory, they said, because Germany missed some repayments on their reparation plan. Kind of like you didn't pay your landlord for rent or you didn't pay the bank for your car payment. So they said, we're sending in troops, okay, and taking that over. So like those factories, when they make goods, we're taking them. Since you didn't pay us money, we're going to take over your factories. I will show you some pictures of that. In the interim, anyone who would like to speak in favor of their option, impassioned speeches like Yugoslavia's last time, are strongly encouraged. Just don't swear at anyone. You two both asked, so if we'll just pass the mic to whoever wants it next. Tell us why your option is better than any other.
So France is missing money from Germany, but invading their country isn't going to get them the money. If they don't have it, they can't give you any. So letting them keep their factories will help them pay, and if you take their factories, they're going to miss more payments for you guys because they have no income.
That is a very valid point, my friend.
So I don't know if France. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm China. I don't know if you guys know this, but money doesn't grow on trees. It's something called value. If you print too much of it, it loses value. It's very simple. So if you keep on telling them, hey, you gotta pay me money, how are they supposed to pay you money? You force them to print more money. What happens to the money? It loses value. Okay? So what are you supposed to do after that? So all they had left was goods and factories to produce money to pay you guys back. But yet you guys invaded, which was also stupid, because what happened last time, you guys should have learned your lesson.
Can I talk after you? Am I allowed? Okay. You're good, you can talk.
I would like to ask the representative from China, when France invaded Germany last time, they didn't start the war. They got invaded first. And so in France's situation with Germany, they have to get money somehow. And why not just take the way that they, like, if they take what Germany uses to make money, I consider that payment. So they're just getting what they deserve, payment, by taking the factories. To be able to make things for themselves that wasn't theirs before, so they make money. So they're getting the payment they deserve from Germany by taking the factories.
Would anyone else like to speak? Why your option is best? Remember, Germany's not here. We didn't invite him.
Germany
Yeah,
is
one in
here.
the back.
I still hate it. I still hate it.
British, do you guys want to go next? Yeah. Okay.
I think
Sweden and Great Britain.
I'm Sweden. I think option 2 is good because we cannot let it go unpunished, or else everybody's just gonna start doing that, and we're gonna have another world war in our hands again. So we're just gonna get out of one and go into another one, by people just invading other people. So I say at least number 2, just we don't got armies yet.
Alright, so Great Britain would like you all to remember 5 years ago the Treaty of Versailles. It's basically the same concept. Italy did not get land, they took their land. France did not get their money, they're getting their money. I would also like to point out that France is a very powerful nation in the League of Nations, and it might not be a good idea to harm them in case anything that may be bad, such as wars in the future, pop up. We might need the power later.
Okay, we're gonna go China, Japan, Poland, Sweden. By the way, this is a French soldier who is sort of menacing at a German in the Ruhr, like, hey, get to work and go work in the
Okay, so you guys said not to mess with France. I find it kind of funny. So, you guys pretty much said not to attack them because they would fight us back and pretty much invade us, and then they'd be breaking their own rules. And honestly, through this whole entire thing, France has been contradicting themselves through like the entire time. So, I'd just like to point that out.
Japan is next, and then Poland.
In China's previous statement, they said that if you attack them, they'd fight back and invade you, and that would be breaking the rules, but I'm pretty sure it's legal to defend yourself. So that statement is redundant. They're not hunting for money, they're hunting for money they deserve that should be paid for them.
By definition, doesn't defending yourself mean in your own territory, not in sovereign German territory?
I was responding to the statement he said about the future, not to this situation. But they deserve the money. Let them have the money. Stop interrupting me. I will invade your country and stop it under my... Look at number 3. I will.
Japan and China, you can kill each other later, but not now.
I'll pretend they will.
Okay, Poland, we will listen respectfully.
So to restate what Great Britain said, they said that to protect France from greater causes, by taking money from Germany, you're creating another cause by potentially starting a war.
I still hate Italy.
I got one more.
I'll bring it to you.
I don't know. I'm going.
You want to say something? He already said something, Derek. He raised his hand at me.
Well, I was talking to you.
Okay, Great Britain, then Sweden.
Okay. Well, maybe something should be done, but it shouldn't be sanctioned. Because they deserve to pay all of us money for the war. You know, we're all poor. And if you sanction them, they're not going to be able to trade and make any of that money back. So...
Is lecture
Yes.
an effective way of changing behavior?
Yes, it is.
Pass it to Sweden. I'm going to ask Mama Hunt that.
As Japan said, they were just trying to take the land as payment. Why not just politely ask as that for payment instead of just going in and attacking right away? It's just an easy one.
Okay. Last statement.
You cannot politely ask a country to give over their land. That is retarded. Yeah. Let's just...
Okay.
It's like an exchange.
We are going to vote. You have 3 options, plus you can not vote, which is essentially voting option 4, do nothing. If you have a partner, you need to decide. We'll erase the vote, so if you want to change, you don't feel pressure to stick with what you had before. Lecture option 1. Sanction option 2. Send in an army to kick out France option 3, or do nothing. We will start with Italy and work our way to Spain. Option 2 for Italy. China says option 2.
2 for 2.
Czechoslovakia says option 2. France, what do you say about yourself? Surprise, surprise.
Nothing.
Great Britain. Did I tell you those two were cowards, or did I tell you?
Yeah, you told us they're cowards.
Was I right?
Yes, you were.
Japan.
Nothing.
I wonder why. Sweden. Sanction. Yugoslavia.
Option 1.
Hey, stay seated. We're not done yet. Poland. Option 2.
Spain. Nothing.
Okay, look at the backboard. Kiter, sit. You guys are on my time. I will tell you when you can move around. We're not done yet. Even though a majority of us says sanction, according to the voting rules of our body, do we do the sanction option?
No.
What do we do?
Nothing.
Again. Now, here's what you must know. The consequences of your actions. It might sound good to say go in and occupy their territory, threaten them with bayonets and say get to work or we'll shoot you. But here's what you underestimate. Okay, good life lesson. No one wants to stand up and speak for Germany because yes, they are the bad guy. Yes, they've made mistakes. But if you want to throw them under the bus and make them the scapegoat for everything, what are they going to do to you later?
They're gonna come back and kill you.
They're sitting there going, you guys are taking advantage of us. You guys were jerks to us. They're people. Sit. Meisner, sit down and put your backpack away. Their people are smart, and they're going to say, oh, you come and invade our territory? We'll stop going to work because you're just taking the stuff we make in our factories anyway. You're not dismissed. Now, Mr. Anderjaska was right. Here's a good example. Because you occupied their factories and took their goods, now they really can't pay. And the Weimar Republic, that's the name of Germany in 1923, is going to start cranking out money. When you print money, the money in circulation is devalued. One of the worst examples of hyperinflation in human history is the Weimar Republic in 1923. Because of what you did, you completely bankrupted them and ruined their economy. Now, how are you going to get your money back? That's like saying the guy who owes us money, we want to put him in prison. You're an idiot, because now he'll never be able to pay you back, and he's going to get really mad. And remember, there were only two ways to handle Germany after World War I to ensure future peace. Be nice to them or kill them all. All we're doing is poking them with the stick, making them mad, making them the scapegoat. They're not invited. Okay? And you might say, these kids are really rich. That money in Germany became so worthless that people burned it for heat. It was worth less than wood. Okay? They would just add zeros to their dollar bills until they got to trillion Deutschmarks, like $1 trillion bill that bought you maybe a loaf of bread. That's what hyperinflation is, and you ruined their economy. Now we understand why you were mad. That was a horrible idea. More importantly, we as a body failed to act and actually do something about it. So, we will come back on Monday with episode number 3 of this series. China is going to be invaded by Japan in 1931.